What's going on, everybody? It's me, Stock Picks by Tim, and in this video I'm going to be talking about earnings coming up tomorrow for a couple of stocks. We've got Wkhs reporting tomorrow, and we've also got CleanSpark. Now, I'm also going to look at Bitcoin because it obviously pertains to CleanSpark stock, so we're going to check that out. I've got a couple of things on the technicals to show you, and we may be reversing out of this downtrend, or at least having a confirmation of it very soon, so I'm going to show you that as well. Now, if you don't mind hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, it definitely helps me out a lot, and I do put out daily videos. Sometimes it's stocks, sometimes it's crypto, sometimes it's general market stuff. But let's start off, look at Bitcoin, and then go into CleanSpark. Alright, now first off, I'm going to show you Bitcoin. We have been in a slight uptrend since mid-June. Now, you're going to want to watch for it to break out right around the middle of September. We should be approaching this downward trend line. I'll zoom out for you to see it here, but you know, it was starting in the beginning of November of 2021, and ever since then, Bitcoin's been in a downtrend. So you're going to want to watch towards mid-September. We may be breaking out of this downtrend. We may have our downtrend reversal. So that's going to be critical to watch for. And, you know, as time goes by, we do get closer and closer to the next halving. Now, if you don't know what the halvings are for Bitcoin, I highly recommend you look into it. I honestly think in the YouTube space, people talk about it a lot less than they should. I think it's extremely relevant for Bitcoin. And before this crypto winter, you had so many people just saying, you know, the halving's not going to have an effect. The cycles aren't going to play an effect. You know, the institutional adoption will keep Bitcoin pushing. I mean, I was even one of them. I kind of doubted that we were going to have this huge crypto winter. Turns out I was wrong. You know, I thought that with Tesla and with a lot of companies adopting crypto, with Goldman Sachs now offering it to their clients, all that kind of stuff, I thought that was enough to kind of keep pushing Bitcoin. Boy, was I wrong. And I've learned, you know, don't go against the grain. Typically, crypto gets into this crypto winter as we approach the halving, as we get roughly a year away from it, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. We do start seeing that hype pick up. But this isn't a crypto video. This was supposed to be CleanSpark and Wkhs, so let's get into those. But I do think Bitcoin should have a potential breakout somewhere in mid-September. And if it fails, we may push down farther. We may test 17,000. I personally don't expect it to fail. I think we will break out of this and have that downtrend reversal. Now, because Bitcoin's been kind of rising in price, it has been helping out CleanSpark a bit. It was sitting in the $3 area, now it's in the 4s. But first off, before we look at the charts, CleanSpark is going to be reporting tomorrow as of this upload. And like I've said before, you know, I'm not extremely excited for this one because their revenue is going to be down quarter over quarter. In fact, over the last 2 quarters. But when you go back and look year over year, what do you see? The last year, our revenue reported for CleanSpark was $12 million. And you know, even with this steep decline quarter over quarter, year over year, we're talking about more than 100% increase in revenue. So I see that as a great thing for CleanSpark, but Wall Street may see these quarter over quarter declines as a negative thing for CleanSpark. But you and I both know that this all has to do with Bitcoin's price. And if you know anything about Bitcoin, if you know anything about the halvings, you'll know that we're about a year away, if not a little sooner, and we are sure to have that hype cycle if the trend continues, you know, if we continue playing by our 4-year cycle. And I'm confident that we will, and I'm even putting my money on it. But it's very likely we see a lackluster quarter, as I've said before, for CleanSpark. However, I'm going to stay the course for it. You know, I'm a long-term investor, especially for CleanSpark, and I see no reason to get out. You know, while we're dealing with this bear market, you've got CleanSpark acquiring more miners, continuing to expand. They're still working on their Lancium deal. They are, by end of year, pushing towards 4 exahash, better than they projected about a year ago. So that's great, and they're continuing to grow. So I am extremely confident in CleanSpark. I have no doubts on this company. Although I do think it'll be a buying opportunity through this quarter and possibly through the next if Bitcoin does stagnate and if it doesn't follow that breakout and follow that downtrend reversal that I was talking about. Now, quickly glancing at CleanSpark on the chart, you'll see we were in this downward wedge. We broke out of it, bounced off of it as a support, and we're kind of riding higher. We did find the $5 area as a resistance, and I don't think we're gonna break out of $5 until after earnings, if earnings surprises a little bit, if we maybe get a positive call, some good forward guidance, something of that nature. If earnings comes out okay, you know, if they don't miss horribly, maybe they actually beat the revenue, maybe they get closer to 40 million. I personally doubt it, but if things come out good, I don't personally see this coming under $4. You know, and every time it has came under $4, very brief period, I took that as an extreme advantage. I did buy one time under $4. I think this second dip here under 4, I did add to it. But, you know, people can keep calling it out, saying it's going to go to 3, saying it's going to go to 2, saying it's going to go to 1. Hopefully those same people are buying if it does come to those prices. All right, now another one we've got reporting earnings is going to be Sens. This is going to be the same date, tomorrow on the 9th. And looking at Sens on the chart, it absolutely broke out on that news that Anthem would be offering their product to insured clients. But this thing absolutely ran. I'm not surprised it's pulling back a little bit today. It did break its $2 support area. It's very likely we start pulling back a little bit, finding a new support coming up to earnings. But I'm very confident in Sensionics for the long term. And you know, when you have so much ahead of this company, so much potential market it can take from Dexcom, they've got a better product in my opinion than Dexcom, but correct me if I'm wrong. They've got the 6-month CGM and they are working towards even making it better. Now we're in the earnings call. We're going to get a lot of light shed on their recent Anthem deal. We're also going to get some information regarding their Europe expansion. So you're definitely going to want to tune into their earnings. I'll be trying to cut it up, give you guys the key points, so stick around. And finally, we've got Wkhs reporting as well, same date. I think this is going to be a huge earnings. And they're going to talk about the green power deal. They have been receiving trucks and putting them into production. Now looking at the technicals, you'll see that it was in this ascending channel. It broke out of it. Found a resistance right around 450. This previous peak here, we found resistance. I want to see it flip this and start finding it as a support. I want to see it hold this as a support. I think earnings needs to come out decent with some okay forward guidance. But this company is literally at its turning point. So if you were to sell, why sell now? You could have sold months ago. You could have sold damn near a year ago and not had this continued pain. So in my opinion, I personally feel like it would be a horrible idea to sell Wkhs now, but obviously make your own decision. But if you were holding Wkhs throughout all this time waiting for an answer, I think this earnings is going to give a potential answer for those of you that are unsure if you really want to stick with it. I personally am going to be tuning into the earnings call. I'll try to cut it up for you guys, but that's really what I'll be looking for is just the earnings call. What are we going to have in terms of forward guidance? What's going to go on with that green power deal? And have they been pushing out those C1000s? Have they been selling them to clients? It's going to be a big earnings for Wkhs, and if you do hold it, I highly recommend you tune into it. But that's all for today, guys. We've got some crazy earnings coming up. Don't forget to leave me a comment below. Which of these three is the stock you came here to watch? Thanks as always, guys, and take it easy.